To see the two ends, one completely red, one completely blue, hear the roar from each end.
It's like raw tennis, right?
Serena Williams will have been like, I'm at home. There just happened to be somebody really iconic there. Who could it be?
I think it was Mary Earps.
I think it was Mary Earps. I want to always say it like Lyonais. Olympique. Lyonais.
You're right. And I love mayonnaise, so it's good.
Roll them back.
Some idea. Sound check.
Oh yeah, we always forgetting to do the sound check.
Yeah.
Well, hello everyone.
What's happened?
What hasn't happened? Okay, so why don't we start at the top? We'll start fresh off FA Cup final.
Half the pitch. Let's go. Section 1. Half the pitch. Right. FA Cup final. Did you want a team to win? Did you have a preference?
Well, as an Arsenal fan, and I said this to you yesterday when we were in the stand, anyone but Chelsea, right? Anybody, ABC, classics, everybody knows their ABCs, anybody but Chelsea. So as a Arsenal fan, I was like, I don't want Chelsea to win. They don't need to win. They've already got the double. They don't need the treble. Like, at this point, it's just, it's just a bit... I say this every week. I'm like, it's just a bit boring. So I was, despite the fact that I don't have any real affiliation to Manchester or anything like that, I was a Man United fan for the day.
Yeah.
In saying that...
We were, though, supposed to be, like, we said that we were kind of there as neutrals, and then it was very clear as soon as it was, every time Manchester United did anything significant, we were like, yeah! And then we were like, oh, we're not really.
But do you know what's really fun about things like the FA Cup final? And I said this to you yesterday. When you're sat as a neutral in a ground like Wembley, usually you're there as a Lionesses supporter, right? Or if you're not as a Lionesses supporter, you're in a small section of away fans.
Yeah.
So you're either roaring for the home team and it sounds phenomenal round the stadium, or you're in the away section. And when I sat in the away section for the Netherlands game, it was like they had some energy, those Netherlands fans. So it was really, really cool. But to see the two ends of the stadium, one completely red and one completely blue, and hear the roar from each end as stuff happened.
It was like raw tennis, right?
It was so... Serena Williams will have been like, I'm at home. I'm at home. This is tennis.
Tennis, baby. Tennis. No, it was good. And we said that last year when it was Man United Tottenham, the sea of white flags and then the sea of red flags. And you're right, as soon as something happens, it's the like... It's almost like it carries, and I don't think you feel that if everybody's cheering, like you said, if it's all England and everyone's just wooing when England do something, it kind of carries, but it's not the same. But when it's like, whoa,
yeah,
it was like a boat.
And they had the flags, and you could see Basel tearing it up in the stands. And it was just, we were slightly closer to the Chelsea end than we were. I mean, we were pretty much in the middle, but we were closer to the Chelsea end of supporters. But it's so cool to see the strength in numbers that these two massive teams bring out. Now, obviously, one of them's a London team, so they're going to have a lot of people automatically already in London being able to go to these games. But man, the travelling supporters from Manchester was very impressive.
I'd say that. And you know what? Like, Manchester United are known for having a very loyal fan base, and and I know obviously there's lots of fans that aren't always from the place that they support, but there will be, with women's football, I think it is still very local for a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the stadium was... Now, this is the thing, the question as well. There was 75,000 people, but obviously around 90,000 tickets sold. I saw a conversation, and it's like, how do we... What point do we bridge the gap between the ticket prices obviously are low enough for people to, if they can't make it or something get in the way, they don't come, but then also to keep it so it is this affordable thing that people can do with 10 people. Yeah. And it's like, how do you get that right at this point where we're still evolving? Because...
For sure.
Yeah, how do you bridge it? Because don't get me wrong, 74,000 people is insane. But I don't think that therefore broke the record of last year's. It was a record that it sold out.
Yeah.
But I don't think that broke the record of the attendance. I think last year it was 77,000. And I may have made that up, but I think that's right.
Comment section, fact check us as always. So, Chelsea... that's them. They've won the treble. Lost out on the quadruple, but Sonia Bonpastor, wow, what a monumental season. What a start. Really, I read today about her that, this building on Emma Hayes' legacy that she's done. And listen, you got to hand it to her. Whether we like Chelsea or not, she has done an absolutely phenomenal job at coaching that team through to some really major victories. Now, throughout the league, Chelsea, they had some really good games. They had some really good score lines. But it wasn't a complete dream success story. Some of those score lines were very... No, I have to bring them back down to earth. You know that I've got to do it. Some of those score lines were pretty low.
They've just lived in the FA Cup and you're like, no, not even 24 hours of joy, sorry.
No. And you know what really annoys me? When they're posting them wee infographics and they've got all the W's and like 2 D's. Right, and they're forgetting about them 2 little losses that they experienced in the Champions League, knockout stages. Now,
it depends, because it could just be a list of domestic wins.
Yeah, okay. So I'll give Chelsea their flowers. Sonia Bonpastor has done a fantastic job with them. They have a phenomenal squad. They really do. You can see the time and energy that's been spent into building Chelsea up to be the squad that they are. Absolutely. Yes, it's unfortunate for them that they didn't quite make it into the Champions League final. Barcelona were just too good.
Yeah.
We will certainly feel that on Saturday, I'm sure, unless a minor miracle happens or a major one. Depends what gods you pray to. But anyone and anything. Girl, you need to get all those shirts out. You need to get that little shrine out again. All your suitcase is going to be shoved full of Arsenal stuff.
Cleanse the hair, cleanse the aura. Fill it.
Speaking of grabbing all of the shirts in our collection, what did you do on Monday?
Well, you know what? I haven't got the new one. So yeah, I was buzzing because when we did All the Queer last week, I obviously couldn't talk about the fact that I was in the Arsenal home shoot, and then someone commented, "When's the Arsenal shirt going to be released?" And I was like, I think it's on the 13th.
I have no idea.
No, so on Monday we'd only done the shoot the day before when we did All the Queer. So really cool. Helen from Fowdy sent me a message saying, I've got this idea for the Arsenal shoot. She was like, I don't want it to be players, but I want it to be about fan culture. So I want it to be people who are making content, who are fans. Would you and Emma be interested in doing it? I almost forgot to message Emma and was like, I know she'll want to do this. So I was just like, absolutely yes.
Absolutely, I do.
Wait, I'll just ask Emma, I'll set up a group chat. And immediately I was like, I've almost said yes for you. She was like, yes. So yeah, it was really cool. We were at a space in London somewhere near St Pancras, and it was like a little underground bar. And then Fowdy's had just got there early, set it all up, and it was brilliant. It was like a little cocktail bar. There was like an old Duke record. No, what's the word?
Jukebox.
And yeah, it was cool. We were and it was so nice, the environment. It was obviously me, Shiv, who is on Gold Diggers FC. They were so nice as well. And then the environment, I've never done a shoot before, so I was like, I don't know how this is going to go. Like, I was like, I just have a feeling that my face will just be so weird. And at one point, Helen was like, serious face, and I was like...
I don't know how. I wouldn't know how to do a serious face.
No. But it was cool, and like the reactions obviously of us getting the shirts were genuine, and it was really nice to have these conversations about what Arsenal means to us. And obviously I love it with a brand like Fowdy's. It's real women for women. It's a brand that's built around women's sizing, women's bodies, women's entertainment, women's sport. But yeah, at the end of it, took the shirts back off us because Adidas said that we weren't allowed to keep them yet.
Oh, that is tragic.
Don't have a shirt. And
I have been, you were messaging Helen today. I'm trying to get my hands on one for the Champions League final. My bank account is sitting, it's waiting. I've got the money in my bank account. I'm waiting, but I want to get it from Foudy's because I really believe in their branding. I really believe in their messaging. It's really important to support, like, not just because Helen's our friend, but to support a women led business, a women and non-binary led business, to amplify the women's game. That's what we're all about. So I was like, Helen, the Foudy's website says it's 4 to 12 days delivery, and the Champions League is on Saturday, so
you're like, I'm gonna exercise girlfriend's mental privilege.
Can I please pay? I will pay for first class express DHL to my door, if that's what it takes. I don't want any letters, names, numbers, nothing. No nothing. I just want the shirt. I just really want the shirt. And then I wanted to get it from Foudy's because they're the most comfortable shirts ever.
It felt really sad to take the shirt off and give it back. Like,
I bet.
In 2 hours, sat in it, chilling, chatting, being photographed, and then they're like, you need to give us the shirt back because it's not...
I'd have been like, oh no, I smell.
Nothing. They had to send it back to Adidas, I think. There was something... I was like, but I can't just... I won't show anyone.
I've got makeup lines on it.
It's like, it's bigger than you.
This is not about you.
This is bigger than you. This is the whole Adidas Arsenal lawn. And I was like, fine.
But guys, listen, if you haven't seen them yet, head over to Foudy's. They did a really cool little like graphic thing today. The photos look really fire. Looks like you guys had a lot of fun shooting it. You certainly sounded like you had fun when you came home, even though you were a tired egg. And then I was like, maybe you shouldn't go play netball, and yet you did for 3 days in a row. So I'm pretty impressed. But then you got struck down by a little illness over the weekend.
On the third day, she fell over, hurt herself quite badly, and had to go home. Turns out,
I know. I just got a little phone call from Al saying I fell. And I was in Oxford, and I was like, oh no, I'll come home. And you were like, no, I just want to go to bed.
And I'm you know what? I sounded a lot better yesterday. I think the excitement of going to the FA Cup kind of Friday, Saturday, I was not in a good way.
Friday, Saturday, we had to sort of recuperate you. I sort of had to bring you outside to defrost in the sun and then put you back inside to sort of recuperate. We didn't, we took it easy. We took it easy on Saturday. The most exciting thing I think we did was Eurovision.
Yeah.
Which wasn't that exciting this year.
Upsetting.
It's a bit upsetting. So we were storing all of our powers up for not just the FA Cup final, but also a Netball Super League match, London Pulse v the Loughborough Lightning, not the Loughborough Lightning, just Loughborough Lightning, who won the league last year. So it was a very exciting match. It was very fun, and there just happened to be somebody really iconic there. Who could it have been?
I think it was Mary Earps.
I think it was Mary Earps. Pretty sure it was Mary Earps. Pretty sure we got to talk to Mary Earps. Pretty sure I got to hold your phone and my phone as a little camera and film you interviewing Mary Earps.
You know what? One thing that will just never get old is meeting Mary Earps.
No. She is genuinely, when they say like, oh, never meet your heroes, never meet like famous people. Unless it's Mary, literally, unless it's Mary. She is so kind. Like, and I'm not just saying that. Literally, I'm not just saying that. She's so genuine. Like, she's a busy woman. She's a busy gal. So it was clear that she had places to be and people to see and things to do. Yeah. But she still made time, and that was really, really nice. I really rate her. I really rate her for taking the time to talk to you and chat with me. And she did the same as us, was at the FA Cup final and then hoofed it over to East London.
We tried to netball at the FA Cup, didn't we? And we were like, oh, I heard you're going to the netball later, because Claire Nelson had given me some top confidential information. And of course, the first thing I did was tell Katie, who then told Mary Earps.
I was like, here, you're going to the netball. She was like, oh, honestly, before she knew that we knew Claire, she must have thought, how does this girl know my schedule? She must have been looking at her assistant like,
The best bit as well was, so I've obviously met her once before, and you and Amy were in this BBC room, and then suddenly stopped in front of me. I like walked into Amy, and he was like, Mary Earps, Mary Earps, Mary Earps, Mary Earps, pulled to the side, Mary Earps was there. And I forgot that you hadn't met her, so you were like, Mary Earps, and then I was like doing the same thing. I was like, I have met her. Why am I still doing this? And I was like, no, I'm still excited.
The biggest moment though, I think of my life, was the fact that when I met her, she said to me, I feel like I've met you already because of Ali's videos.
And you were like,
I was like, stop. That means that Mary Earps actually watches our video. And by the way, she also mentioned that when this live is on, it pops up on her FYP. So, Mary, if you're watching...
Well, you know what this means? I'm going to say it now. Mary Earps has got a burner account. Because I've never seen Mary Earps has joined this live.
Maybe she watches it from, when you can watch lives without clicking on the live?
Yeah, she's on the outside.
She's on the outside.
If you're there, Mary, we love you.
If you're there, Mary, listen, co-host.
Just press the button. We will accept. No, but she was super cool, and obviously the plan was to get her up doing the super shot, so I got to break the news to her. I was like, sorry, but I think that you're going to be, as a keeper, getting up and trying to score some goals. And she was so like, oh, what you got me doing? I'm never going to get it in. I've never done this before. What was it, about 3-4 goes? Swoosh.
She's in. I saw somebody commented, a couple of people commented on your TikTok saying, Mary Queen of stops and shots. She's from one end of the pitch to the other.
She shoots
nothing
it like
but net.
She's like a basketballer, and I think there's a clip of her elsewhere. I think in Paris doing a shot for something to do with basketball, and you can tell that she's had a little dribble on the courts. She's had a little practice. She's had a little shoot. It's in her first rodeo. Holly's put, I'm excited for the next MAE 2027 drop. Well, we got some little insights. So the new shirt, and I'll release Mary Earps saying this herself when I actually get around to editing it. It's an upgrade. So it's going to be the lion with the roses and then also a crown, and the crown is for the cricket. Was that what it was? Yep. So yeah, she was like, by the way, I asked her about the shirt, and then she was like, funny you should say that. I've got some intel on my shirt. Should mention. Listen, so something that, and you talked to her about this as well, something that I really love about Mary is she's got so much time for not just her sport, but supporting lots of different sports and lots of different areas, and specifically women's sports. So, we know she was down at the rugby, she's been at the netball. So she's a big supporter of all of the different facets. And that's something that we're really passionate about too. So it's really nice to see people who are big in the industry supporting other sports. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're right, Kev. She is just a great person. Yeah, just 10 out of 10. And someone commented something on on my TikTok of her doing the super shot, and they said, oh, she's clearly doing a PR tour. And I'm like, fair fucks if she is. Yeah. Use that clout, use that influence that you have to do good. For sure. Say that as a negative comment about a male player, or like Ronaldo is clearly doing a PR tour. They'll be like, oh yeah, he's doing a PR tour. Yeah. Yeah, sports marketable. Yeah, yeah. I wish that more players would use their good positioning to promote good things. Yeah, I'm not mad about it. Mad about it. Also hot off the pitch, hot out the changing room. The clip that I just saw, I think I saw it on the Sportesses Instagram or TikTok of Fallon Tullis-Joyce meeting Serena Williams. I wish I could hear the words, because I don't know whether Serena Williams is like comforting her because obviously they've just lost, or she's just going, oh my god, Serena Williams. But also she's American, so that is like, I guess that's like royalty. Yeah, that is like your national sporting. Like, we obviously love Serena Williams and respect her. She's brought glory and pride and medals, trophies home. So she'll been, and this is another thing, I'm sorry, I'm getting excited, but you forget that these sporting women have sporting heroes as well. Yeah, for sure. That would be like her meeting Mary Earps,
Yeah.
me. Like meeting Serena Williams.
And particularly for women of color as well, who historically have been so subjugated in so many areas of society, including sport. To see icons like
Yeah.
her just in the space it's so cool.
And what bigger icon than
Yeah.
Serena Williams? Like, if you're talking about a winner,
She knows a thing or two about lifting trophies.
yeah, she's probably just like, oh, natural. Oh,
Yeah, this whole thing.
oh, it's so small. I've seen some big ones. You have one to share between 25 of you?
Yeah.
What? I get one at home. They must see, I mean, as far as like it goes for investment, it's pretty cool for him that he invested in a team who then won a treble like 2 days later. Like that, like kind of like the investment, you're probably like, no, yeah, that was a good investment.
Yeah. And like, imagine being Serena Williams' daughters. She has daughters, right?
Yeah.
Like, imagine being like, oh yeah, my mom, a tennis legend. My dad, he puts his money where his mouth is in terms of investing in women's sport. Chelsea, my team. Like,
See, my team.
yeah, literally, my team.
My team.
But that's so. I mean, it's like for young girls, and we talked about it last week when we talked about taking, your nieces and nephews to the game, and particularly your niece Penelope, and just like hearing her get excited and talking about the game, and like knowing that this is her space to be in.
Yeah.
And it's, like we're hopefully setting this up, like doing a lot of legwork now so that her generation coming through, it's just a given that they have a space.
Yeah.
That's what we're all about, and that's what we talk about week in, week out. So if you're a regular here, then this is nothing new. You hear us talking about this all the time, but it's always good to just refresh. Like, seeing the passion and seeing that younger generation and having the opportunity to like see and be a part of that it's really something special.
So, Lionesses just ended the WSL, right? Next season, it's their maiden voyage.
Yeah.
They let go 5 players who I think have been pretty integral to the integral?
Yeah.
What's the word?
Integral.
They've let go 5 players who I think are pretty integral to them getting there. They let go of Megan Campbell, who's just got the world record throw-in. Like, and I know that doesn't mean that you're an amazing player, but she is an amazing player.
Yeah. But she also can. Yeah, we can vouch she's an amazing player too.
Yeah, and the 5 players in particular that they've let go are Georgia somebody, I forgot her name.
Braham?
Braun?
Braham?
Something like that, yeah. But yeah, what do you think of this? So obviously Michelle Kang has said in her interviews, we're not going to be the team who goes up to the WSL and comes back down. Mm-hmm. She said, we're going to get to the WSL. We're going to stay at least mid-table next year. Mm-hmm. First season, we're not coming down. And then obviously as part of that plan, she's shifted out players that she clearly doesn't think are going to help that WSL standard. And I guess over the next few weeks, months, she's going to bring in some fresh crop that's from another team. Mm.
Maybe from Olympique Lyonais.
So yeah, it could happen, but I don't know, what's your feelings on letting players go who got you to that place?
I think that it is a tricky one because obviously there will be some of those players who have left of their own accord. They'll have left because their contracts have lapsed, or maybe they genuinely didn't get a lot of play time, and so they're like, okay, maybe I'm better off somewhere else. But for some of those players who fought and battled for their team to go up, and obviously it was a hard fought battle because right to the bitter end, did we see the changing of the top 2 between Birmingham and London City? There's a lot to be said for keeping those players that got you to that place and not sort of pissing people off.
Yeah.
In that regard. Now, obviously behind the scenes, we know that there was some Russia drama, perhaps, at London City Lionesses, and she seems to be thriving in the Irish League now. So, whether or not the managerial structure is to blame for a lot of these players moving on, and a lot of these players not staying up or staying in their squad. yeah, I think it's disappointing. If you're a player who's put time and put effort in, and then suddenly you're ousted, that's gonna suck.
Yeah. Like, that must be. Yeah. I imagine thinking you're going to go home and then you're like, oh, I'm in the WSL. This is my season. I've battled through the championship. I'm now going to be a WSL player, and then gone.
Yeah.
Like, it must be good.
Yeah, especially because a lot of these players, obviously the championship, or the WSL2 as it's now known, like a lot of these players have climbed the league, right? They've not come in from like top flight teams in from other countries or other leagues. Like a lot of them have started at grassroots, built like come up all the way, and now this is it. This is the pinnacle of their career, to be in the top flight of football in the women's league in England, and then you're not. Now, do we we could be entirely speculating that they might be going down to another team in the championship or elsewhere? Could be going up to somewhere else in the WSL. A lot of these players who have fought now to get to the WSL might be hot commodities for other WSL teams.
Fair. And also, I realised throughout this entire thing, someone just commented WSL2 on paper, championship in our hearts. I have not called it WSL2 once.
Yeah. I refuse. You know my thoughts on the rebrand.
I do know your thoughts on the rebrand. Okay, let's go for Olympique Lyonais. Am I even saying that right? I don't know if I am.
I want to say I want to always say it like mayonnaise. Olympique Lyonais.
You're right. Olympique Lyonais. You know what? And I love mayonnaise, so that's good.
The rebrand, I like it. I like the new logo.
I like it. This is a good rebrand. This looks good.
And I think, is it maybe part of the Kang empire of rebranding?
Similar lion-like logo of the Lionesses.
I think some what do you call that? Some synchronicity, some
umbrella branding,
symbiosis in terms of.
Yeah, it looks good. I think it looks good, and I think the other one was very blocky. I don't know, and also like this is. I like sometimes a rebrand goes well.
Yeah. Sometimes a rebrand does go well. You're right. Sometimes a rebrand will mean that more people will buy that shirt because it looks cool. It's got a cooler logo than just the OL. Other times a rebrand is kind of just like maybe a waste of money a little bit. Maybe.
Oh.
Just saying. All right, listen, I'm in need of a shower and a sweet treat, so shall we?
Yes.
All right, is that us?
That's us now.
All right, see you guys next week. Have a great week, and Arsenal, Arsenal.